Hello, my friends. It's nice to see you. Do I have chat going? Okay, so chat's working. Chat viewing options. Okay, so chat. All right, awesome. Just want to be able to say, Renee, wow, you are so fast, Renee. Pew, 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 you're first. Pew, 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 pew. So, Renee, yo, what's up, Renee? Sup, dog? Sup, G? So, Curtis, how you doing, brother? Nice to see you guys. So, you're the first people here, so you guys get to dictate what we do. Would you guys like to go into some remote viewing? We could do a live remote viewing. I could do some stuff specifically for you guys. We could do some question and answer on stuff. I could reveal some wacky ass stuff. Super dude. Super dude. Super's awesome. Mere person, you're not just a mere person. You're more than just a mere person. You're not a human being. You are a human creating. Mere person. Justin, oh no. You want to hear some wacky ass stuff, Justin? Okay, I'm a bedwetter and a sleepwalker, so I wet other people's beds. That is wacky ass stuff. That's true. That's true. Well, it used to be true. Okay, you want to hear weird paranormal stuff, I presume, Justin. That's what you're presuming. Is that what you're saying? Weird paranormal stuff? And you want to hear, oh, and you want to know that it's real. For certain, for absolutely certain, that the information you're getting from somebody isn't just bullshit, isn't just some sort of, self indulgent malarkey. You want to know that if you hear something really fucking amazing, that it's real. I bet that's what you want. Well, perhaps, maybe, Justin, I have that information. Justin, you are amidst some people who have seen and touched and felt and been around the absolutely unbefreaking leavable. The kind of things that every single time, even lesser versions of experiences, are just staggering and unreal and just feel surreal. I'll tell you about one thing. Ricky, nice to see you. Can you explain why Grant is posting these weird things about Firmage? I'm going to try to explain as best I can the Grant and Firmage thing. For those of you who don't know, Firmage is a guy who has been, he was an internet darling 25 years ago when internet was booming. And he did some work CIA. He created a program that was embedded into some other programs and got widely distributed around the world. And so the CIA was very happy with him for that. And then all of a sudden, he had a very strange experience and turned into the kind of exotic propulsion guy. He had a creature or some being appear in his room, and he had I forget what they call it, a samadhi experience, and started designing anti-gravity systems, hiring the best scientists around the world. But unfortunately, he didn't have the true talent. He didn't have the true ability. He didn't have the true formula that he claimed he did. Something called the principle of motion is what he was calling it. And basically, I've got a huge report. It's like 100 and something pages proving back in 2000 and I think it's 11. The thing was complete bunk. It had been bunk for 20 years. It's a scam. And the weird thing is, this Firmage anti gravity device, which is an electronic, an e gyro, is there's been so many incarnations in different companies, and they have to change it each time so they can legitimately have a new company and have new investors. Otherwise, the previous investors can say, "Hey, that's my design. I pumped money into." So it's literally like a modern day snake oil salesman. This anti gravity e gyro thing, and I've done extensive research on the e gyro thing, and it's been done all over the world. There's multiple e gyro projects going on of different configurations. The government's been involved in one, the Army, the Department of Defense. So to make a long story short, I've been a huge fan of Grant for a long time, and about 2 years ago, he was really mentoring me and let me host some of his stuff. his rabbit holes and things, and basically was saying that I was jumping on the grenade of the Dan Smith and the whole Pandolfi rat hole over there by researching all of that for him. And he no longer had to, that I was taking care of that kind of for him. So I got to know Dan Smith very well, all the players over there very well. I've got some connections to them from the other side too. I know how a lot of the people in the government feel about them. I know about a lot of different aspects of that whole situation. And it is bunk, bunk, bunk. How can Grant believe a word that they say? How can Grant believe a word? Grant knows better. Grant knows that Ron's job is to be a contrarian. And so any information from Ron is and has been, the track record for 25 years has been that it's been bunk. It's been the complete diametric opposite of the truth every single time. I have figured out, and I know so much more about Ron. I know how other people feel about Ron. I know the whole background, everything. And I just cannot believe that Grant would be supporting that and thinking that was legitimate in any way. And what I think is really bad about it is it hurts real disclosure stuff. It makes people waste their time, investigate it, and it hurts his great sterling reputation. It just has me very upset. The whole Grant Firmage thing has me very upset. It's very sad. How do you guys feel the same way? Am I wrong here? Am I pushing this too far? Have I not seen it? I don't have Instagram, and I'm not able to see Instagram. All I know is that he's been talking about, Joe having some disposition. Yes, mere person, it does. Well, I think you're on to something there, mere person, about brain chemistry. The real deal, the real secrets here, the real distraction, the real information is the power of consciousness, the power of your mind. The human potential is so much greater than we have ever been led to believe. Right, Super? It's completely ridiculous. Super, do you understand this? How could Grant does this make any sense to you? The only way it makes sense to me is thinking something that I don't want to think about Grant. Yes, Colleen, without a doubt, a distraction. And you wouldn't expect that from Grant. You would expect a higher level of investigation, a higher level of responsibility if he's going to put the information out there. And it just doesn't seem like Grant. It just doesn't seem like Grant to me. Is that too weird to say? It looks formal. Send your copy. So Grant was just passing on a press release from these people about Joe being some title in some bullshit organization. Is that right? Maybe you're right, Colleen. Maybe so. There have been times where Grant has suggested I do things that were not in my personal best interest, but were in the best interest of the release of information. And I'm always about people first. And it's very difficult to weigh all those things in this field. Well, there's a lot of stuff to say. Well, someone wanted me to reveal some weird-ass stuff. Well, I will. Why not? What can I reveal? Well, there's something very evident about Ingo Swann. Ingo Swann searched out the researchers. He went to the researchers. He went to the physicists. He went to the different tests to prove that ESP and all these other abilities are real. He went to them because he had the confidence to know that his abilities were, first of all, repeatable in front of researchers and scientists, but also because he knew it was so important to let you and me and Dr. Simeon Hein and everybody know the power of their own potential. And if you were a brilliant psychic and an artist, would you put hints in your art? I think you would, my friends. So at some point I'm going to go over some of Ingo's art and explain some esoteric, very powerful esoteric thoughts and notions and things. And I think they may help you if you're exploring these subjects. But, you know, these abilities to connect to everything is not just fun and cute. These abilities that Ingo put himself on the line to let us know that we have, I think are really important for the future. Because as the future encroaches, there's many more dangers, and the more human potential we have, the more ability to be at our greatest, the more that our children are the best that they can be, the better they're going to be prepared for the many, many incredible challenges of the future. Now, a lot of people think that this topic is kind of fanciful, but when you look at the physics, when you look at the 100 years of research, it's pretty empirical that these things are real. And I have been a part of, and I have seen some freaking amazing stuff. I will tell you this, I have seen psychokinesis feats that were really just unexplainable, completely unexplainable. Super has seen some psychokinesis stuff and been a part of some experiments with me that have been unexplainable still to this day. And I think it's important for you guys to realize that anything is possible almost. There was a time when human beings didn't know about electricity, and electricity was all around us. We even make electricity, but humans didn't know about it. Our whole society is made by electricity now. But they had little hints, little tiny things, a fish that shocked, and this little weird effect during the storms, and this and that. And they had little hints, little weird paranormal things on reality's edge. And they didn't all quite fit together until some people, like Volta and other scientists, were able to put the pieces together. Oh, this shocking effect, and this static electricity, and this fish, and this, and all these together. And that's the same with this substructure that we deal with, that Super and myself deal with, and Artsy and Shambhala, and people who use CE5 and remote view and do healing or out-of-body experiences or channeling or much more. We all use this structure. And if this structure was real, if there is a real substructure, then you would think advanced civilizations would know about it, wouldn't you? And they do. And we know that they do, because when you look at the report from ATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program that you and I paid for as taxpayers in the United States for years, one of their conclusions after investigating many strictly military, this is important, they were strictly military cases. After reviewing a whole crapload of them, their conclusions were that our nation's greatest vulnerabilities are to these real things that directly relate to the substructure and stuff that these advanced civilizations were doing. Stuff that Super can do, and I can do, and Shambhala can do, and you can do, and Dr. Simeon Hein can do, and we all can do. Now, just like smelling and hearing, hello forever, my brother, we all have different senses and abilities, but they have limits. Nothing's perfect. Your smelling is not perfect, is it? Your hearing is not perfect, is it? Your taste is not perfect, is it? And your connection to the substructure is not perfect either. But you can increase that connection, you can work on it, and it can get better over time. And I am living, walking proof of that. Super, what's my opinion on substances? My opinion is it's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. Yes, you can use different drugs and different substances to give you access. but you are not going to have control over it. You're not going to have the control long term that you want. And it can actually create handicaps for you, make it tougher for you under normal circumstances. So, and it can even damage you by giving you unprepared for unripened experiences, like eating a fruit when it's before it's ripe. Um, Gray, much love to you. So that's just my thought about any of the drugs, that you should do it naturally first, so you have your greatest power, and then if you ever do need to use this stuff much later, you can. It'll have a much greater potency for you, and you'll have a greater mastery and control of those things. So that's just my humble recommendation to you. Um, feels the same way. I think our whole group really kind of feels the same way. Now, one thing you can really do is if you work on all these different abilities, they will increase your ability to have better contact. It'll increase your ability to have better healing. Right on, Star, no drugs. It's just not going to help you. And even stuff that we used to support, like mugwort and things like that, you should never do that stuff on a regular basis. If you're going to take herbs or do stuff like that, do it on very rare occasion. And you really should have control over all these abilities at a natural state. Have control of yourself at a natural state. And much later on, then you could maybe try these if you wanted to, just for that extra. There you go. Especially ceremonial purposes and things like that. It's especially good for. I have had a DMT experience, and I thought it was related / unrelated, and I know all about the machine elves, and all those different things, and I have a deep understanding of a lot of that stuff. So I don't want, not trying to belittle your experiences. There's a lot of people who use it exactly. KD, meditation is the best drug. Um, there's a lot of people and indigenous people who can use it in a level and in a way that we just can't. So anyway, so some of my experiences, well, they always started off as psychic. I've always had the psychic stuff, natural connection, just boom. Didn't have to do anything fancy, just boom, there's the information. And over the past few years, things have really picked up. My friends in Ellenville and my farm are very neglected because I've been through a big, huge metamorphosis. I have a farm upstate, and basically in the past year, I have hardly even been there. Transformed it from just a junk pile into a beautiful farm. And have a bunch of friends there, and did CE5s, and we're doing a lot of CE5s. And we brought the phenomena from way up in the sky, orbital level, to cloud level, to treetop level, to ground level, to a whole other freaking level. And we went through a period where it got scary, and we went through a lot of different periods and a lot of different levels together. And we went through a lot of different internal growth together and exploration. Some of you guys remember that early on when we were dealing with things that we thought we had conquered a million times, like fear and many different kind of esoteric things. And we had experiences that were mind-blowing. Really intense stuff. And I want to talk about CE5 for just a couple minutes here before I move on. Vanilla latte. There are ways to get your CE5 experiences closer. And I just have to be frank. As much as I love people, yes, you can have amazing CE5s alone. It's really all about purity of intent. And sometimes a larger group can make that more difficult. Even one wrong person, one wrong note can spoil a harmonic. And that's really what this is about. It's about having a good harmonic. It's about having a good signal. It's about touching that substructure cleanly and being able to use the substructure to search for the nearest applicable advanced civilization or intelligent species or intelligence that cares to communicate or cares to travel here. The substructure itself has a whole bunch of possibilities. It opens up a whole bunch of doors. It does, just like electricity opens up a whole bunch of doors that probably were unimaginable to people before electricity, correct? This substructure does the same now. And it has limits, it has limitations. But Star Guide, thank you so much for being here. I love your name, and I love what you just said. You have to have this pure heart and pure intent, as Star Guide said. And you can't fake it. That's why government agencies can't do CE5 very well. Because you can't fake your earnest intent. You can't fake your true feelings. You can't fake your heart. You can't fake true love to people who can read consciousness. You know, there's going to come a point, whether technologically or through these abilities, that we are going to be able to read each other's thoughts and minds. It's going to happen. We're going to become a hive one way or another. We have to. We have to. If we want technology to grow, then we have to. And the reason why we have to is as technology grows, fewer and fewer people can do greater and greater damage with less and less. And that's just a reality of any advancing civilization, that fewer can do greater damage with less and less. And the only solution to that is a loss of freedom. Slowly over time, we see it now, cameras and searching bags and at the airport, and all this stuff is designed to make us all safer from that lone wolf or that group of people. And in time, we are going to be basically a hive mentality. And we can do it by machines, or we can do it by choice, by caring, by empathy. You know, if we teach our kids about their own consciousness and about the consciousness of those around you, and we teach them empathy, they will learn the gifts of the 5,000-year-old Yoga Sutras. They're really about 3,500 years old, but I've been hearing so many different dates from 2,000 to 5,000. You know, if we teach empathy, empathy is everything. Empathy is everything. It sounds corny, to love somebody, you know, a bunch of other guys, if you say you love people, you know, you sound like a freaking jerk. You sound like a freaking Fruit Loop, right? But I'm not afraid of loving. Because a real man is not afraid of standing up and doing the right thing and taking on the burden of love. If it means doing the right thing, a real man's not afraid of that. And empathy and love is resonance. Empathy and love is resonance. And I'm not afraid of resonance. I'm not afraid of empathy. In fact, I relish it because it allows me an opportunity to learn. You know, I bend stuff all the time. I break stuff. I can melt glass, bend metal, make metals, stainless steel magnetic. I don't think stainless steel is supposed to be able to become magnetic. You can do the impossible with your mind. You can push numbers on a slot machine. Nothing is impossible. I was going to do some games and stuff live with you guys today, but I decided because for some reason my big computers are not allowing me to go live. I couldn't show you the other stuff, so I'm going to walk you through a couple other things. So my group was able to bring this stuff more down to the ground, and CE5s were very important to me. Then it was the peak of everything, trying to find out who MT. Such a pleasure. Thank you for being here. It was so important to me at the time to find out who are these species, what are they doing, why are they here, all the different answers and questions. And over time started to get those answers. But at the same time continued with Super and our whole group to work on all of our other skills. And ultimately these empathy skills, they're all empathy skills. CE5 is empathy. It's about empathy and resonance. Psychokinesis and healing are about empathy and resonance. Remote viewing is about empathy and resonance and love. So it sounds corny, but it takes it takes a lot more ingenuity to create than to destroy. Any idiot can press a button and destroy, right? Takes no talent, no vision, no nothing to be able to destroy. The universe lends itself to entropy, so you've even got a big hand by the universe. But creating, loving, fighting entropy, that takes talent. So, gang, that was my first experience getting this stuff to the ground, using this empathy and understanding of love and harmonics and resonance and all these different things to bring this experience closer and closer to the ground and have some really close experiences. I had a couple experiences that I'm actually worried about, that I may have been irradiated myself. About 45 feet away, I've seen all sorts of things, had some very unusual experiences. I'm not going to go into too much. And even Ingo Swann made a very serious decision. Ingo Swann had extraterrestrial experiences because this substructure is used by advanced civilizations. So, of course, if you use this substructure, you are going to run into this. That's why the government and the military was like, how come all of our military remote viewers keep running into this damn UFO fucking shit? Well, because the advanced civilizations use the same fucking structure. They're not stupid. Anyway, Ingo Swann made a very conscious decision not to talk about his ET experiences in public and in general because he didn't want to hurt the ESP stuff. He didn't want to hurt you having the chance to believe in your own abilities. And so I also, too, in the same way, am very hesitant to speak about any of my weirder experiences because I don't want them to undermine the validity of the real other experiences that I've been involved with. But the good thing is with ESP and remote viewing and psychokinesis and random number generators, I can do that all day long. So it's not like I did it once and I'm trying to make people believe, hey, once in the past I had this experience. I can do it, every day. So God willing, universe willing. The experiences kind of grew from there. I had a greater understanding. I started working with some research groups. I started traveling a little bit. And then I started working for this one research group, and that group was testing some of the best well-known psychics in the country. And I kind of fought my way up the rankings in that. My thoughts on I Ching, I can get to that, Mir. I got to the kind of top rankings of that group and ended up being perhaps I was the only person they were using at the end, not necessarily because I was the best, but maybe because I was the most useful for that amazing project. And then 4 freaking amazing experiences happened. 4 major amazing experiences happened. And these abilities, if you work on them, will open the door to amazing freaking experiences. And Super can tell you about them. Some of the experiences we've had. These 4 experiences that I had working with this one particular group were just way off the charts. The kind of thing that's just, freaking way off the charts. But then I've also was working with a French group, and still am working with a French group, and a Canadian group, which I've spoken about before, GEC, Geometric Energy Corporation, and a genius, visionary company owner. He's very young there and prizes the substructure. He understands that it's a real substructure. A lot of aerospace companies, for some reason, understand that ESP is connected to this substructure and talk about it, and have talked about it in history. Ben Rich, a lot of famous aerospace companies and engineers have mentioned ESP as a secret to anti-gravity. Exactly, KD, we all possess these gifts. And we have to practice them, not even just like sports, like cardio. You know, when you get like 50, you got to do basic cardio. It's the same with the powers of consciousness. They can save your life, they can save your kid's life. Don't you want your kid's life saved? Don't you remember growing up how weird you felt in your body and uncomfortable? And you just didn't get it? No one ever talked to you about, the whole everything? I think the more we talk to kids, the more we unlock their potential. Thank you, Super. Thank you, Super. It's, when I say stuff, it doesn't, it's not as impactful as if people who know say it. But you guys can blow away the scientists. You guys can do the impossible. You guys can do miracles. And the first thing you have to do is freaking believe you can. It sounds preposterous almost. But there's a few other things you can do to help yourself. Maybe this reality we live in is a simulation. Maybe it's something that acts like a simulation. But around us, there are millions of random systems. Okay, like a slot machine is a man-made random system. It has a random number generator built inside of it. Around us, there are all sorts of random systems. David, I'm going to come back to you about the whole Grant and Firmage thing. I've got so much experience and knowledge about that situation. I've spent literally thousands of hours. So I respect you and your opinion and your thoughts. I just want to share some thoughts with you. I forgot what else I was talking about there because I'm going to circle back. Anyway, let me talk about the Firmage thing for this gentleman, just to give him some thoughts. I know Grant well, and I love Grant, and I care about Grant very much. I care more about all of you and all these people as people than anything about this industry or, this research or disclosure or any of that. I care more about people first, human beings first, love first. So I say what I've said only because it's how I feel. And I have reached out to Grant, and I asked Grant even directly. I asked Grant, are you a confidential informant? I got a vibe. And out of nowhere, not connected to this story, I didn't even know he had dropped this story. This is what's even weirder. So, and Grant responded to me something like, why would you ask me that? Are you about to do a story? The only person I've ever spoken to was Kevin Oliver or something like that. So, that is what it is. The Firmage thing is 25 years of a scam. I know it so well, brother. There's no hope of anything positive there. It's preposterous that the government would ever do that. This guy has like 40 lawsuits on him. He's got his criminal record. I mean, I'm not going to go into any of this stuff. It's not, positive to do. And I'm not going to buy into the whole system and waste any time on it. I'd rather tell you guys about the power of your mind than let them win by distracting us with other stuff. Yes, and we did try to reach out to him. Numerous of us did. To Grant. So, Justin, you want to play mind games? What do you want to do, Justin? Ultimately, this is about love, and, I care about Grant, and, if I'm wrong in this, and if I'm wrong in what I said, which I truly don't think I am, the track record and history really speaks clearly. This is the one magical, crazy exception in the whole Pandolfi Firmage story. I will come back and apologize greatly to everyone. But it hasn't been, and I've made like 30 of these, I've been about 30 of these occasions where they say something's going to happen, it doesn't, and I have to try and talk people off the ledge, of these situations. Won't we see the HD image footage? Well, there's a lot of footage, Hala. Actually, there is a couple pieces of footage. Oh, some games, yes. There is some footage that we will never see. And there's some HD footage of a saucer-type craft that's really close up. There's some very good footage of what apparently they're saying is a triangle. I think it might just be the angle at which they shot it. They've got a lot of footage. I don't think we're ever going to see the great footage from Nimitz. There is other cases, um, and we are going to see the footage of that soon. I think 2 to 3 different new cases are supposed to be coming out soon. One is from 2008 off of the Northeast, off of like Massachusetts, basically. And there's another one off of Alaska, and another one off of California, and there's one over Malmstrom Air Force Base, and there's quite a few different cases. So, what else do we want to talk about? Oh, the mind games tricks. You want to talk about doing some more abilities and stuff? Well, okay. I'm just going to be frank with how I do a few things. I've been really blessed with a lot of accuracy, and where my stuff comes from, I think, is I don't go looking for it. I have learned over time to create a really good blank slate. Did you? Oh yeah, Suber's bringing up a good point really quickly that the Navy loosened the restrictions on talking about UFOs. I think this is very indicative of what I've been saying for over a year now, that Trump knows about this situation, that Trump is fascinated by it, that he had put a shitload of money into it early on, that the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Space Center underground, that was semi-secret, it's not really really secret anymore. They pumped $50 million into the labs there. I believe Trump is very fascinated. I know we have satellites exclusively looking for this stuff. I know the NASIC has anti-gravity. I know the U.S. government, different branches of the military already definitely have anti-gravity without a shadow of a doubt. Something I wouldn't have believed, 3 years ago. Wow, gang. We are about to get the car keys. And all sorts of new things come with meeting an advanced civilization and getting the car keys. Holy crap. Wow. Okay, so some more tips about making this contact and the signal and the connection. All of it, everything, all of these different skills and abilities are about making the connection. But in order to make the connection to the lineman, the substructure, that signal to noise ratio, you have to get a blank slate first. You have to create a space in your mind that is blank so the signal can come to you. You're not racing out to it somewhere. It has to come to you. But you have to create a condition in your mind. And that comes from meditation. And I'm ADD. I'm very hyper. Meditating has always been difficult for me, but it's such a wonderful thing for me. I started with very small meditations, 90 seconds. You can start with a 90-second meditation. Isn't that awesome? Missouri Skywatcher, how you doing, brother? It's great to see you. I would love to hear what your questions are. I should go back up here and see if I can read some of these conversations. Darn, I feel terrible. All right, let me try and read some of these. Okay. Grant has gone to the other side. Yes. The Navy's announcement. Yes. When will we be speeding down the highway? Okay, about the car keys and everything. We have been, they've been teaching us for a while. They've been training not only the scientists and the government by crashing craft, gifting craft to nations around the world. It's been very much on purpose. And you have to ask yourself, why would they do that? Travis, a pleasure to see you. I use a slightly different version. It does run in my family. My father did also have contact. He was in the Navy. Gosh, I can't do too many things at once. I totally lose my space. I'm just a fragile human with a fragile human brain. We are in a really fragile place, guys. We are in the process of this transition. And getting the car keys, getting anti-gravity, knowing that we are no longer alone in the universe. There's a lot of new laws of physics that are coming. A lot of changes are happening. And it's kind of like what I was talking about before about abilities. We're at a blank slate now. We're coming to a blank slate, and we can build whatever we want with that blank slate. We can let the signal come to us. We can go out and be frantic and try and be this and have anti gravity and race to do this and be frantic to do this with ET and that. Or we can let the right thing come to us. Just be the right thing. Be the right thing. And let the opportunities and all these other things come to us. I don't think we need to worry. I don't think we need to stress. The government is so worried about its citizens knowing about ETs. You know what? The government's hurting us by not giving us the information we need to know. It's like telling a kid, who's 18, I just care too much about you to let you drive. I can't tell you about cars. I'm not going to tell you about cars. But they're going to find out about cars. I believe you're right, KD. It will happen when it's supposed to. And it's not happening at the speed that the government wants it to happen. I think disclosure is going to happen according to someone else's timetable. And I think we're being slowly, what do they call it? Exposed to it. Jay, I haven't seen you in so long, Jay. Great to see you, brother. Great to see you. So back to a minute about the clean slate. Am I wearing shorts? I'm wearing a cheetah thong and rollerblades. And when I get off the air, I'm going to be wearing a Carmen Miranda fruit hat. And I'm just going to be skating around the room. So once I get that connection, once I get that blank space that I've worked on creating over many meditations and over all the different mind work I've done, I get the blank space. I think about the topic beforehand, and then I have a screen. Usually, it's funny. I do a picture, a TV screen, something Uri Geller used to do too, I think, and other people. They just use a screen for some reason, and information just comes to my screen. I can't help it. It just goes boom, just comes to my screen. The screen looks kind of like that in my mind. And the information just comes. I can show you a bunch of. Is that what you want, Colleen? You want some remote viewings? You want to see more? It's just boring. It just looks like I'm bragging or something. I don't know. Here's yesterday. Yesterday was. Let me turn down the. For some reason, when it's bright, it doesn't allow me to show as much. But when I turn it down in color, it works. Can you see that? Okay. Did I see the Uri Geller interview? No. But I am so cocky that I totally think that I can dust Uri. Do you see that? That top image was the correct image, and the bottom image was the wrong one. Did you see that? That was my drawing. And that was it. It says, you are correct. It's pretty amazing. Here's another one that was pretty amazing like that. This shape. And then the benches. This was the correct target image. You chose this with 100% confidence. Is that the stuff you're looking for, Colleen? We've got tons of that stuff. Jax, how are you? We could do a live remote viewing right now. In fact, we could do one. We could do a bunch of different stuff right now. It's 43 minutes. I could give you some more tips. What do you guys want? Do you want tips? Do you want live stuff? Yes, you want to do a live remote viewing. Oh, that's interesting. We can set something up so you can try to dust me. Dust you? I can dust. Who wants to challenge? I would love to have fun playing with people. I don't consider it a challenge. I just think it's just fun. I think it's fun. Let's do it. Did someone just challenge me from UFO News Network? Was that one of my buddies from UFO News Network challenge me? Yes. You know what? UFO News Network Sunday, why don't you set it up between me and Uri? And I can beat Uri multidisciplinary. I would beat him in remote viewing. I would beat him in healing. Probably in metal bending from a distance. We want them to be things. I have to beat you first. It would be my pleasure to be beaten by you or to beat you. And it's not even about beating. It's about that moment and having fun together and all of us learning. And we have to do it in that right spirit. You know, I think I phrased it wrongly when I said beat or win because it's really not about that. We're all winners. And hopefully we will share the information. I would love to do that, UFO. Let's do it. Let's set it up. Let's set up something where we get a third party to be a monitor. And why don't we do something like we could agree on terms, like 3 targets maybe, or 5 targets, and or 1 target. I don't care. I'm fine with any of that. And let's make it multidisciplinary. So if I do great in remote viewing, you have a chance to do great in something else as well too. And let's try and be competitive and fun. Like I'm going to kick your butt, but keep it real positive. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Michael, bless you. Bless you, Michael. I want to speak to you for just a second, Michael. I want to speak to you for just a second, Michael. I lost my mother not too long ago, and part of my soul will always be broken. And I just can't bullshit you. Part of my soul will always be broken. We were infinitely, deeply, deeply close. But right now is happening because previous moments are still holding up right now. Okay? Yes, UFO. Let's phone call and go through some of this. Michael, and because these past moments are still alive, they're holding up right now. That's why right now can exist. Every moment you held hands with Pops, every moment you said, I love you, every moment, every positive moment is written on the fabric of space-time indelibly and cannot be removed. So just know, Michael, that he may have, and we are all connected to everything. So if there's one good thing to feel good about is that we're always there together. You're always there together. I'm always there together with my mom in the past, hugging, loving, kissing, all those things, you know, that make us feel good. But also it's important to realize, Michael, that everything is one. We are all one. And these gifts and these abilities teach us that we are all one through this substructure or whatever you call it. We are all one. And a little bit of me is everywhere. And when I die, this lumpy, ugly, bald thing, this lump will be less here, but I will be a little bit more everywhere else. And that's the same with Pops too, Michael. He's a little bit more everywhere else now. So he's even more around you now. So know that about your gifts and your abilities too, that you really are a piece of everything around you. Bless you, Michael. Bless you, Michael. You know, I've been at a lot of deathbeds. I've been at deathbeds of a couple, I'm thinking right now of a very wealthy gentleman who was actually a real dick to me for a long time until he turned around and realized how much I cared about him, and he really knew where my heart was really from, but he was riding his ego while he was healthy. And in his deathbed, he wanted more love. He asked for forgiveness. He told everyone around, you know, I was really kind of a dick to Buddy, and Buddy was right. He was always after my best interest, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, on deathbeds, people don't want more money. They don't want more cars. They didn't wish that they had done more stuff in their careers. They just want more love. So, David, don't worry. I love you, brother. We're all just human. And the fact that you could come back to me like that is wonderful. Bless you. Thank you. That shows you're a badass man. So we're just all learning, guys. We're just fragile, you know, not perfect. And, you know, love's what it's all about. Don't waste a second of love or an opportunity of love. And you'll never regret choosing love. You know, I would rather be a fool for being loving than, you know, considered wise or anything for any other emotion. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hopeless romantic that way. But the more you empathize, the more you connect, the more you resonate, the more you can change the reality around you. That's my buddy Ad. I love Ad. He's like candy to the soul, that human being right there. Some people are soul candy. Wow, there's like 24 people watching. Yes, you are right, Super Sleuth. When people are gone from this world, they're no longer tied to the flesh and they can connect to us. We're less of this lump and more, a little bit more everywhere else. So, if anyone wants to work on any of these skills and stuff, please write Super or myself. It'd be a pleasure to help fill you in on any of the weirdness we've been doing lately. What happened? Adam retracted his statement. Sorry, guy. You know, it's almost in a selfish way, Star. Always loving, in a selfish way, is really wise because your body is healthier. You know, when you're always forgiving people, you're healthier. It takes someone to be a lot tougher to love an asshole. You know someone's an asshole, but still love them. Not in like a holier than thou way or a superior way, but in a true love kind of way. That's can be very true, Colleen. Bless you. I'm so sorry to hear that. Just this past October, that's so soon. That's so soon. So many people are in so much hurt lately. Super and I have been seeing it. So many people so hurt with family members dying, and so many people so close to them. You want to do some live RV, Hala? Okay, I'll try a live RV. Let's do it. Let me get a sip here. Give me a couple minutes, and we'll put it together. Why doesn't somebody pick a picture, a location picture, and give it to Super? Can we do that? A third party? No, you guys know that I know Super. It needs to be a third party. It needs to be someone else. Okay, Hala asked, so someone needs to pick a photo and send that photo to Hala. And that photo has to be of a location. Okay, we're going to do a remote viewing of a location. Hey, UFO News, are you there still? If you are, let's both do this location. All right? All right. Yeah, UFO News. And let's say this location is November 18th last year. Or 2018. They can pick any target. It doesn't matter. Not too much front loading. So Hala. Okay, Jay, will you give Hala a picture maybe? You choose a location picture and give it to Hala. And give us some time now. I need a few minutes to get my act together. Have a cigarette. Get out my paper. I'm gonna do this the Swan Hein method. And I'm going to do this live more as an instructional way than a real viewing because it'll just be more helpful for you guys. So we want a location. Oh, this was from Dr. Gallenberger. That was from some great psychokinesis stuff. All right. Okay. All right, you know what I'm going to do? Before I even get the picture, I'm going to do a picture here. I'm going to do a pre-drawing. Okay. See if I can get away with that. All right. This is fun. I love this. Thank you, UFO, for joining. All right. Let me do a quick drawing, November 18th. Let's just say that's the date it happened, or it is, or wherever. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Okay. I hope no one minds, but I'm gonna smoke for a second. All right, guys. So I'm gonna do this. Don't show me the pic. Don't show me any pictures. Don't tell me anything. So someone, I guess Jay is giving the picture to Hala. Is that correct? Is Jay giving a picture of a location to Hala? Is that what's happening, UFO? I just want it to be double blind. Yes? Okay, beautiful. Jay is giving one to Hala, right? Beautiful. Thank you, Jay. And it's a location. And UFO, you're joining us for this version. UFO, just out of curiosity, what method are you using? I'm going to be doing a controlled remote viewing, that Swan Hine method. You're going to be winging it. Yeah, brother. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for playing. Okay, so let me pull out a sheet, and I'll start a sheet and just kind of make it open so everyone can see. Um, Justin, great to see you. And I'm glad you're here with us, joining us. So let me start a blank sheet, and I'm going to share that with you guys so you can watch me through the process if you don't mind. Is that what you prefer, or do you want me just to dive into it? It'll be more accurate if I just do it forgetting about you guys. But I've done a lot of viewing. Shambhala! Shambhala's a really good viewer, too. I just saw Shambhala kick ass at Dr. Hines' class. Shambhala, I'm doing a live remote viewing with UFO News. We're both doing it, and I'm just really thankful that UFO News is doing it with us. Because a lot of people just wouldn't want to do it because they're afraid of failing. And I care about you guys enough where I don't care about failing. If I screw up, I screw up. If I fail and miss the target, I miss the target. But I'm trying to show you guys the reality of this beautiful, beautiful, wonderful, magical thing. And that's what UFO is doing now, too. So you have to give UFO respect for doing this with us live. Okay. So let me get my sheet together. I'm sorry it's taking me a while. Whenever you have the target, Akhala, let us know. Jay, you need someone else to pick the picture? It's okay. Don't worry. It's all right. Boo-boos happen. We need someone else to pick the picture then. Is that what you're saying, Jay? Okay, wait, Hala. The picture's coming. Okay, Jay can't send you a picture, Hala. We need another person that's not Super, unfortunately, because I know Super, and someone might say that Super fed me a picture or something. All good, Hala. Well, you know what? Since we don't know... Oh, it would be double blind still if you pick it, Hala. Because both UFO and I don't know it. No, it wouldn't be double blind because you know it. You know the picture. So someone has to pick it for Hala. Send Hala a picture of a location. Can anybody do that? There's 26 people here. We're doing a live remote viewing. 2 different people are doing it. Super, you want to join us? Do a live remote viewing? Might be fun. All right, well, I'm going to start my page when you guys figure out who is sending Hala the picture. Let me see. I'm going to need to get a pen. Hold on just a moment. That would suck if the whole thing was shut down by not having a pen. Fortunately, I have a pen. So, pardon my smoking, please. It's been an hour and I've been trying not to. So, in the upper, I'm going to first write up here, the Swan Hine CRV. And it's going to be the... There we go. That's kind of how I'm doing it, like that. Okay, in the right-hand corner, I'm going to put Justin. Let me see pictures. Oh, would someone get on this? I love our group here. We really are a group of wacky, groupie, weird people, aren't we? Half of us can't send pictures. We don't even know how to send JPEGs, do we, gang? I don't either, so I can't criticize anybody. All right, so the first thing you put in the top right-hand corner is your name or your code name, preferably your code name. So I'm going to put my code name, and I'm not going to reveal my code name. You'll have to check it out yourself. And today's date, which is today is Thursday, the 25th, Thursday, April 25. 2019. The time is 1:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. The type of viewing we're doing is, yes, mere person. We're going for it. Live remote viewing right here, right now. The type of session we're doing is a double blind, controlled remote viewing. So far, just to show you guys what the page is looking like. That's it. Very simple. Alright, and this is the Swan High method that I love. Did we get a picture out there yet, Super? I don't want to go too far until we get our target, because I might start getting a signal soon. How are you doing, UFO? You still with us? You got a blank sheet going? No. All right. And these physical distractions, exceptions, and then your set asides. Those are wonderful features of the Swan Hind control remote viewing that allow you to take impressions that you get early and kind of put them on a shelf, and they won't have to distract you now the whole session. You can take advanced perceptions that you've had before the session even started, or ones you get immediately. And I don't know, Hala, you're supposed to get the picture, so someone's going to have to give you a picture. It has to be a location picture. Let's choose someone. Super, F it. Why don't you pick a location and send it to Hala? We can't get someone to do it. You can do it, right, Super? Any type of a location. Doesn't matter. I think people are going to give us crap, though, if you pick the location, Super, because I know you. They'll say, oh, you texted him or something. You know what I mean? I'd rather have it be. Gray Chapel knows. Gray, can you, Gray Chapel, can you email or text or something a JPEG to Hala Sheen? Ricky, somebody? Ricky, you can? Thanks. Somebody send an image of a location. It would be super awesome. And then we could go a little further into this. How are you doing, UFO? See, Super is so smart. You need a message feature. Blah, blah, blah. Super knows all this stuff. Thank you guys for your help. This is really fun to be able to do a live remote viewing. Very, very cool. I already got an impression and drew an image in the iPad. UFO, you still with us, brother? All right. Which one is this from UFO? Who is it? This is too fun. Too much fun. All right. Okay, looks we were at 27 and now it's down to like 18 viewers because we don't have a picture yet. Looks like our live remote viewing is not going very well. Do we have a picture yet? Anybody? Khala, do we have a picture yet? We're going to do a live remote viewing here. In the meantime, if anyone has any questions about anything, not yet, okay. If anyone has any questions about any of these abilities, CE5, ET contact, haunted locations, bizarre locations. UFO News keeps saying, oops, oops, he did it again. All right. You got one from Super on Twitter, okay. Unfortunately, we're going to be doing multiple pictures, but UFO, which one do you want to go with? You want to go with that one? It's up to you, UFO. UFO, do you want to go with this target from Super? And Michael sent one too. And Ricky said, well, this is going to screw us up so bad. Now we're going to. That's the worst way to do it. Now we have all these different targets coming into our brains. UFO, are you ready? UFO, are you ready? Too funny, right, Super? Khala, I want you to give us a target number. Give us an 8-digit target number for whichever one you pick. Hopefully the first one. Probably why you got 2 impressions. So, Hala, if you would, that would be awesome. And I can continue with the viewing here and show everybody step by step this controlled remote viewing method and see if it matches up with UFO News's target. That is so cool. Any 4 numbers. Any 4 numbers, and what it does, just connect those numbers psychically with the image, and when we write down the numbers, we will... Am I back? I'm back, right? Whew. Okay, my stream stalled for a second. Okay, so your screen stalls too, UFO. Okay, good, that's fine, mine did too. All right, so we have one. Okay, so how the target number can be any 8 numbers, or any numbers, 6 to 8 numbers, whatever. And they're just numbers that you randomly assign to the target in your mind and on a piece of paper, and you tell us those target numbers, and we use those numbers as a psychic connection to the target. So that's the only information you give us, is those random numbers. You give us no other information. You understand? That way it stays more pure, you know, it stays more psychical. Right, so just give us some numbers, and I'll put them in here in the target numbers and get rocking. It'll be a little bit of a slow process for a live stream, but you know, you guys wanted the real deal. Wow. Eyes, trouble adjusting here. Oh, awesome! We got a target number. Okay, let me write this down right when I take off my glasses. Okay, the target number is. Let me go back here. Target number is 3486939. So now I'm going to show you guys how I do this. You know, there's got to be a better way to do this camera here. Hold on, I'm going to try and find a better way to do the camera here. How about this? Well, that way you can look down and see me working. Is that better? No, let me try this. That's right, UFO News. We're doing RV, the RV Game Show. All right, first we've got our target number, which is 3486939. I'm going to rewrite it and then do my ideogram afterwards. All right, first I'm going to do my physical and emotional distractions and all of these things really quickly before I get to my target number. Okay, so these are my PEDs, my physical and emotional distractions before the remote viewing session. Physical distractions, none. I feel great. Physically, emotional distractions, none. I feel great. Advanced perceptions, I'm getting some sort of a track. I'm getting some sort of a racetrack or something. So I'm going to put that on this advanced perceptions. I'm just going to draw a little racetrack. Set asides, I'm going to do the same thing, racetrack. I don't know why, but I got a racetrack. So I'm going to put this in my set asides. All right, so now I'm going to dive in here. Dave, what we're doing here is remote viewing. We're doing a remote view, and this is a controlled remote view session done in the Swan-Hein method. This method is directly derived from Ingo Swann with special things like the advanced perceptions and set asides. All right, here's the target number, and I'm going to redo the target number, and then at the end, do my ideogram. Joel, it's a pleasure to see you. All right, so let me clear my head for a moment. Whoa, that's weird. That is a very weird ideogram. It's got a lot of energy or water in it. That's a very interesting ideogram. And it looks like it's got a biological right in the center. And what you guys are going to find out, and you'll see afterwards, is oftentimes everything in the picture is described right here in this ideogram. So I would not be surprised if in this image there is some sort of air, some sort of ground or sea or something, and in the middle of the image somewhere, look right here, there is a biological, that's the symbol, the ideogram for biological. So normally we would do a description of all the different shapes and everything on one. I'm not going to do that because you guys would be bored to death. Two is when we start feeling it. Weird. Okay, so I start feeling the ideogram itself and get physical impressions from the ideogram. And the first thing I got was something very concrete and hard, like a concrete ramp or something. I got a hard, I'm going to put hard concrete. Concrete. Wow. Someone is trying to kick me offline, but I'm not going to give up, guys. I'm not giving up. You guys are still here, right? Okay. So I've got soft. Yeah, I've got this biological thing there in the center. Biological. Energy. You guys still with us? Yes, Joel, you're still with us. Okay. So I am energy. I'm not. Do you think I'm stalling, Jay? Am I here? Oh gosh. Okay, good. We're back. All right. So on the sides, I've got energy, and I've got movement. I definitely have a movement going on in this thing, and something in the center, and I've got a biological in the center. And the biological is alive. It's not a dead biological. I think it's a human. Guys, are we back? Are we back, guys? And we're not. Okay, these commie bastards. It's frustrating me. It's frustrating me. But we're not going to let them win, guys, are we? We're not going to let them win. I am back. Thank you, Hala. So how are we here? UFO News. Do you have your target? Have you made your decision, UFO News? You can't stay. What is your What are you saying the target is, UFO News? What's your final decision? Are you going to deliver anything? Nothing? Something? Any guesses? You don't have to be super specific. I'm going to go with what I did in the drawing. I don't have time to keep going back and forth and getting disconnected, but I say it's biological in the center. There's energy, movement, two different fields. Okay, so Hala, it's really, they're bastards. They're just keep knocking me off. Someone's knocking me off. Hala, is there any way you can send me the image? And then I can show everybody. Or you can tell us what the image is on screen here, real quick. UFO, did you guess yet? Hala, what is it? Oh, you did. You tweeted it to me. Thank you, UFO. I'll see whatever it is in a minute. I can't check now while I'm live. Hala, will you tell us what the target was? see if we matched it. See if we hit the target or not. It was the Colosseum. It was the Colosseum. Interesting. All right, that did not match mine. Great. I want to see that. I'd love to see that image. See how it matches the description. Super. I'm on my phone. I tried to do this live through the two computers, and it wouldn't work through the two computers. You were surfing, Jay. Close, not bad. Jay, you had a kind of a thing there, a little bit, you know, kind of in there. Not bad. Very cool. Very cool. So if I can get the image here, I can show you guys the image so you can see that, get the whole complete cycle there of everything. Let's see what we got. All right. Absolutely. And the more you do it, the more you have fun, and the more you work on these different processes. So after you do this first page, this is phase 1. There's 5 more pages. So you take those. Oh, and I get to show you guys the image I drew ahead of time. Right? That might be interesting. I put it in remote viewing on my thing here. I'm gonna put it in here, just so you can see an image of it. Okay, I'd put it under RV. Here we go. Let's see. This is what I got. Remember I said November 18th? Feels like a castle. That was pretty good for fast right before the session. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't understand this little message I was getting. Amusement park in modern times. Holly, you sent it to me? Was it the Colosseum? Let's see, you sent it to me. Okay, let me see if I can, hold on a second. How do I get that from Twitter? Hold on just a second. The live stream here. But it was the Colosseum. That's really cool. And it's not a great Colosseum, but that was an interesting version of it. And UFO, did you get the Colosseum? I know, it's so annoying, the technology and everything. I've got it on the phone. It does look similar to my drawing, Hala? Yeah, it says, it feels like a castle, but amusement now in modern times. And there's people in front in the center. Interesting. That's what I said in the other thing in the center. Doesn't matter, though. So I think we had a little bit of a hit there, don't you guys? And I think UFO had a hit there as well. So you guys should see that this stuff is real. Out of all the possibilities in the world for us to do that, it's okay. You know, it's not perfect. There are some little things we said that weren't perfect. Track, I did say track, and they ran races in there. That was my perception ahead of time. Remember, in the circle? In fact, it is kind of funny. Look what I drew in my PEDs. That's funny. Very good point, Super. And I think this looks like a Colosseum if I've seen one, except for the top middle castle part. I think I'm a little too far. But in the medieval times, the Colosseum did have the extended portions, so maybe that's kind of... Yep, I did feel the concrete-y, too. Yep, you're right. And a lot of energy on the inside. It was hard on the outside and energy on the inside and biologicals in the center. I would like to work more, too, with you guys on live cool stuff that we can all do together using the power of our collective consciousness. And, you know, it's cute to be here and do stuff and learn stuff for ourselves, but it'd be neat if we could also help others. Wouldn't that be cool? I know it sounds corny, but I really think it would be a blessing to be able to use the power of our positive intent to help others. So, I did pretty close. Thank you. Thank you, Gray. I do think I could kick Ari's butt. Let's tonight post the pic when I get it. Okay, I'll do it. I'll post both of those on Twitter. I love you guys, and thank you, UFO, for inspiring that and participating and being gutsy enough to do it. Bless you, my friend. Let's tonight, if you guys can, do you want to pick some place where we can put our, what do I think about when bending metal? It's a long story. Do you want me to get into that now before you guys really want to? Okay. With the psychokinesis stuff, it's all connected. It is all connected with this substructure. The first thing you do is you make that connection like you do with remote viewing. You let the information come to you. You make the connection, like with remote viewing, like with this target we just did. That's a tiny little signal I have. But if I had more time and more sheets of paper and more intent, I could make a deeper and deeper and deeper connection. There's something I always do, and maybe it's just for me, I don't know, but there's several other little things I throw in on it. Let's say I'm trying to make a connection to this pen. I will breathe. And I'll think about every molecule. I'll think how everything and everyone is connected, and all of us is connected, and how we are all one. And I remember one time many years ago of having this weird samadhi experience, breathing at the same time as a lizard, watching his chest expand and breathing. And even with inanimate objects, you can think the same thing. Okay. Now, when I was just in Vegas working with Dr. Gallenberger and the group of people there, one of my jobs was to cast powerful intent and positive numbers and good effect over the entire group, the entire table. So what I did is I visualized like this awesome, powerful energy. Everything flexing, moving all at once, harmonizing like two tuning forks resonating. You know what I mean? All the way down to all the devices, things. You feel me, guys? And this is what I do with the random number generators. This is what I do with the dice. This is what I do with bending metal. This is what I do with all of it. Then I also think about the fact that everything is frequencies and waves. Everything is frequencies and waves. Nothing's solid matter. It's all the interaction of waves, the interference, the coming together and increasing, the coming together and decreasing, and tiny fields that we don't even have perceptions of, chronons and gravitons and all sorts of different things. And I think of those aspects of space and time and gravimetrics, and that all breaking down and then bend. I mean, purk. Yes, there's the guy in Japan who could literally take stuff and it gets much more bizarre than that, guys, and it's real. It's not a joke. It's not like a story. It's not someone lying. Weird ass stuff can happen, stuff that just defies all logic. You know, in the quantum realm, things can happen that seem completely ludicrous in the macro scale. Going through walls, all sorts of things, switching identities, appearing out of nowhere, then disappearing. And these are all very regular things in the quantum realm. But when you put quantum systems together in the macro scale, they just don't happen at that grand of a scale. But with our field, it does happen. Things do disappear. Things do appear out of nowhere. Things do get bent. Things do happen that defy space and time and matter, and I've seen it. And in the past 8 months, I've worked with scientists, and they've seen it, and some of the stuff has been captured on camera and on pictures. And in fact, some of this stuff, even Super Sleuth's seen a couple of these pictures and stuff and things, and as we've been involved in things. Yeah, Super Sleuth had something disappear from her house, and it has not appeared yet again. And Super is a very, I'm not going to reveal Super's past history, but comes from an extremely credible career. And something else disappeared from someone else, and I can't really discuss that situation either, but it was a larger object, and it was around, I think, 4.2 pounds. It was a heavy object, disappeared, gone, poof. Poof, poof. Things are bending at a distance. Things are bending nearby. Lately, things have been bending very well and easy. And how it happens is this, and I can't really explain it, but it will just go, and you're not putting all your strength into it. Then you're not doing it right. It should bend almost like like a piece of paper or rag, you'll kind of think about it, and then all of a sudden it'll just go. It'll just go. And when it's going, you have to keep going with whatever you're going to do, because if you stop for a second and then try to keep going, it's not going to happen. I've curly cued a fork and then like a second later go, oh, I want to curly cue it more. And gone back to curly cue it more just like a second later. And the whole thing's very warm or icy cold, one or the other. And I can't budge it at all. It's done. And that's the same thing that just happened with Dr. Hines' class. Absolutely, Jay. Shambhala had bent a fork and was there for a few minutes saying, gosh, I bent the fork. I don't know if it really was just, was it really just me? And was handing it to people, and it was hot all the way down at the ends. Where if it was just a regular bend, it would have been hot in the center. But this was hot all the way down at the ends. Yeah, I think you did, Shambhala. I think it had a combination of your strength and PK going on both at the same time. I had bent a fork sideways, which I had just thought about doing because it just seemed so much more impossible. Sideways against a flat metal like that. I mean, it just goes against the structural aspect of it so much that I thought that would be better than front or backwards. Just seems like, you know. And it just went right after Doc's class because I was all charged up. I was very much in the space. I had a very strong connection to the signal. So, we're going to be launching this kids channel called Super Conscious soon. We have the channel set up. I've got a couple videos. I'm working on some more videos. I'm kind of a weird, creepy host. I'd much rather have a kid host for a kids consciousness show. But for now, it'll be me and then getting guests coming in. And would love it to be all of our channel. It's going to be non-profit all the way around. If any money comes in or donations, it'll be turned into kids stuff for kids. So that's it. It's been a long little broadcast tonight, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for standing by us. It was fun to share some tips. It was really fun to do a live remote viewing and to get pretty close. I haven't seen the picture yet, but if you guys say that was really close, then I'm excited. And I'm really excited that UFO News did great. Hala, thank you so much for your time, Hala, and going through and picking the picture for us and everything. And Super, thank you so much for everything. Justin, I love all you guys so much. Colleen, bless you. UFO News, thank you so much, brother, for being here tonight. Joel, bless you. Bless you. Are there any good, credible videos? No, not that I know of, but if you want to talk, email me. It'd be a pleasure to talk to you on the phone even. I can go through the process with you. What little I know I can share and back and forth. Love you guys. Katie, thank you so much. Jay, UFO, boom, boom, boom. Hey, when am I going to do your show again? Hey, when am I going to do your show again? I was one of your first peoples, and you forgot about me? Now that you talked to all these famous UFO peoples? You don't want to talk to your old friend, buddy? Colleen, I love you. You're beautiful. You're beautiful inside and out, Colleen. I love you. Mwah. I'm a little goofy tonight. I don't get it. I don't understand why. I'm wearing literally a potato sack jacket. All right, I love you guys. Much love. Missouri Skywalker, bless you. Thank you. Keep watching the sky, but also bringing them to you. Travis, bless you. Bless you, Travis. Thank you for being here. Gray, thank you, brother.